Corbs and I are sat here joined by the two captains. Clash of the captains. It's all about this weekend, the D1A CRAA final between St Mary's and Navy. Pono from St Mary's, Ben from Navy. So good to have you boys on. I suppose I'll start with you, Pono, on the West Coast. We are on the West Coast, so I know this is the afternoon for you, and I know, appreciate, Ben, it's your evening. But Pono, how excited are you, man? Final. It's the final finally coming up this weekend.
Yeah, we all say at the beginning of the season we want to, get to the national championship, win the national championship. So it's kind of surreal right now where, I've been there for the past, 5 years. So to get another opportunity to get a shot at the title, it's really exciting. And, just looking forward to it. I'm eager to play Saturday.
And Ben, obviously, you boys are looking at back-to-back finals. How excited are you and the team? Obviously, it's been a journey to get here, but have a chance to play for another national championship.
Yeah, we're pumped. But I'll say in the beginning of the season, our goal was never really a national championship. Just spend time together, get better, become better men, and have a fun season. And if we found ourselves back here, it's where we are. And now that we're here, right, the boys are pumped, but the real win after beating the life was just having 2 more weeks of practice with all my best buddies. So it's going to be fun this weekend, but, it's no matter which way you look at it, it's exciting to be back and be playing a solid St. Mary's side.
So humble, very military, very good answer from you, Ben. I love it. Yeah. I love it. But I'm going to come back to you because you mentioned, obviously, you've been in the St Mary's setup for a little while now. Yeah. St Mary's, if I'm right, their last national championship win was 2017. For a program like St Mary's, has there been an element of pressure to finally get back to the big stage for such a good school of rugby?
I would say it's not pressure, but an expectation. Our coach, Timothy O'Brien, does a good job where he leads the program and kind of puts it on the players. He makes it player-led. So from the players, myself, Eric Storty, and Junior Wakavesi, captaining the St. Mary's side, there's not really pressure, but it's just our standard, I'd say, rather than the pressure to get a national championship.
And then, Ben, obviously, Navy went varsity last year and you boys delivered a national championship. Like, how much of a statement would it be, obviously, for more support for the program and for what you're trying to do there at the Naval Academy and combining rugby? Would it be to actually go back-to-back and have 2 national championships in a row straight in your infancy as a varsity program?
Yeah, I think it's huge. I think it shows you can do it. You can do both, which is big for our recruiting. Right, there's an expectation when you show up here, right? You're not a rugby player. You're a midshipman first, right? You're preparing to become a naval officer or Marine Corps officer. And it shows you can do both. It shows that we can compete at the highest level, right? But we can also prepare to be good men and leaders of men. So 2 national championships is huge because it puts our staple there. It also obviously helps our coach on the backside with recruiting a little bit. So that's good news.
Pono, you haven't lost ultimately this season. Am I right in that, in terms of regular fixture games? You've really kind of wiped the floor of most. Obviously, Cal, your big rivals as well. You kind of put them to bed. Brilliant win against BYU the other week, 48 points to 31. I guess what I want to ask is, like, what lessons can you take away into this final? Because, boys, although people say it's just another game, but it is the final. But, like, what lessons of the past can you take into this big one?
I think a big one is just focusing on what we can control. In that semifinal against BYU, we kind of let it get out our hands, and at one point it was 17-all. And it was just from the mistakes we made. It wasn't, it was just unforced errors, I'd say. So going into the game, just focus on what we can control, and, playmakers make their decisions, and, we just got to be all on the same page, I feel like.
And Ben, obviously, when we spoke to Gavin at the beginning of the year, he was very big on saying this is a new team. There was, some of the seniors going, some returning. What's it been like, this journey so far as a team getting to this point? And just touch a little bit on the win over Life as well in the semi-final.
Yeah, I'd bring up resilience for our team this year. Last year's national championship run, a lot less competitive of a season. Same 15 starting guys all the way through. This year is, I mean, we've dealt with injuries. We've dealt with different guys stepping up. Obviously, a lot of our guys haven't played rugby before coming to the school. So seeing guys, there's this junior form, and now here we are, right? We have a strong bench because we've been able to teach a lot of these guys the sport of rugby. We're feeling good. We felt our bench presence a little bit there against Life, and we felt them during the playoffs. And right now we're as healthy as we've ever been, which is why I think we're hitting this run right at the right time. Life was a gritty game. This one's going to be physical. I'm sure St. Mary's knows as well. Like, it's hot and humid down there in Houston. That's one thing we remember from last year. And the food's pretty good. So we'll take those lessons and we'll bring it Saturday.
Love that. And you know what? Perfectly set up, because I'm going to ask you both. Pono, you can go first. What are you wary of about each other? You know, ultimately, you're two very good sides. Like, I guess, how do you feel you match up? What I've seen, St. Mary's move the ball really well. Navy, you have a big power game. You have a big set of boys. Not saying you're not as well, St. Mary's, but Pono, what are you wary of the Navy threats?
Just the velocity they bring. They're a high velocity team in all aspects of the game. So, you know, if we make some, you know, errors, they're definitely going to capitalize on it. So just, you know, they bring great velocity, but we do too. So, you know, it's just going to be a game of, you know, who can control the errors, I feel like.
Ben, for you, what are you wary of with St. Mary's?
If I've learned much in the past 3-4 years here, it's like there's a West and East Coast rugby a little bit. We're definitely, like, Service Academy rugby is a little bit different than what they play over there at St. Mary's. And what I could tell is if you get one guy on the ball carrier, the ball is probably still going to come out. So we're wary of the offloads. We're wary of them swinging the ball. They move the ball extremely well. So for us, it's battening down the hatches on defense. They have a bunch of insanely good ball players and strong pack. If we can be disciplined, right, and play good defense and get those chop tackles and deny that ability to offload, I think we'll stand still. But again, crazy good ball players over there on the West Coast.
And I think, boys, if we look sort of big picture, like how exciting is it to see where college rugby has come in your guys' journey through playing it? You know, the fact that these national championships are getting more and more profile, the coasts are aligning a bit better. You know, it's on the Rugby Network. It's being covered on shows like this. Like how exciting is that sort of change and growth in your time in your programs?
It's amazing. I think at least for our two sides, Ben, you know, us being the one seeds, you know, it says a lot about us. So, you know, we always got the Cows, but, you know, those teams like Cal Poly where we used to take, you know, our starting pack out, now we got to play our full side. So just that competitiveness and just making each other better, not just, you know, it being a landslide for one team, but, you know, just growing each other's sports. And then these all-star teams that are emerging from the youth and from college, I think it's great for the sport.
Don't get me wrong. I love college rugby and everything it's done for me, but I came into the rugby scene 3 years ago. I started playing rugby fall of my freshman year at the Naval Academy. So my perspective is pretty fresh. However, it's awesome. Like even my my sophomore year, call it youngster year here, like it was either we were winning the game by a ton or we were losing by a ton, right? As Pono said, right, way more closer games. And I think the selection committee for D1A did a great job this year. I think the top 14 teams, right, got pushed forward on either side, which is fantastic. And I think it's good for the sport. And it makes me, you know, when I'm an old man, I'm obviously going to be watching it. But it gets me excited for the future.
Boys, absolutely brilliant to both have you on. I really appreciate both speaking so well. True leaders. I expect nothing less, really, when I have the captains coming on. Love what you're doing. All the best. Saturday, 6:30 p.m. Central, Houston, Sabercat Stadium. You were there recently, Corbs.
Yeah.
Bit windy.
It's a windy one, lads.
Be prepared.
Make sure you have a game plan for each half. I'll tell you that firsthand.
There you go. You've had it from him. Literally, he's just been there. Boys, thanks for joining us. Good luck, and hey, may the best team win. CRAA D1A final, St. Mary's v Navy. Thanks, boys.
All the best, lads.
Cheers.